Hey, how's it going? It's Niall here. I wanted to try something new for some of these videos. In these videos, I'm just going to be kind of briefly doing a little voiceover for my process in drawing these Inktober little sketches. Yeah, we'll get right into it. So obviously, the first day, the prompt was fish. And so uh, we can see here as I kind of start sketching out different ideas and stuff. I think my initial idea was that I wanted to do a monster based off one of the scenes out of a horror book by Howard Phillips Lovecraft. And the book was titled Dagon. And so, obviously, in the book, there's a scene where the main character in the book kind of crashes on this island and he's exploring and obviously finds kind of this little area, this bay area where there's these giant ancient monoliths that have these weird hieroglyphics on it. And so while he's kind of looking at these things and admiring their size and their age and all that kind of stuff, the main monster, supposedly Dagon, kind of emerges from the murky water and kind of in a sense like curls around it or kind of comes up to the main big obelisk and um, it causes the fisherman or the gentleman to kind of go insane and stuff. And so I wanted to kind of just capture that scene. But initially, like I had started with this sketch, and I decided to go a different route because last year was kind of the first year that I participated in this whole Inktober thing, and I went a little overboard with my little doodles and sketches, and it was just taking too much time out of my usual schedule. And I started, as you can see, I was getting pretty far with the inking, and then decided to switch over to something new. And so in this new one, I decided to go with a little more of a theme. And so with each individual prompt, I'm finding a way to kind of tweak it into like a little superhero or supervillain, depending on the prompt. And so um, with this one, I think the prompt was fish. Yeah, that's right. It was fish. And so I did like this little jellyfish brain superhero kind of a thing. And at the end of the video, I'll kind of give like a backstory as well as like the powers and abilities of this little hero. Um, that was kind of part of the thing that I wanted to do as well when I create these little hero guys. But yeah, I switched over to do this, and obviously we can kind of see the progress here. Doing some color, and I wanted to kind of tweak my line work, and so I've been kind of just playing with doing little line etchings, kind of very similar to the French artist or European artist Mobius, and kind of some of the things that he did. And I liked it because I was able to do these pieces a lot quicker and stuff. And we're getting pretty close to the finished thing. Did my highlights, and there's the finished. So I will do a brief little background on this. So this character's name is the Jellyman. The backstory is Dr. James Parker was a world-renowned ocean environmentalist that was aiding the Australian government in an extremely dangerous toxic cleanup. While studying the effects of the toxin on the local wildlife, Dr. Parker was stung by a jellyfish that had been mutated by the mutagen. The effect was that the brilliant mind of James Parker was transferred to the jellyfish, and the jellyfish's consciousness was transferred to James' body. The effect also rewarded the new Jellyman with incredible powers and abilities. So here is Jellyman's powers and abilities. The Jellyman has the ability to control H2O in any form. This means he can create shields to protect himself, project powerful force blasts, and manipulate the water's state, transforming it from a liquid to a gas to a solid or whatever he pleases. He can also sense and feel objects in the water from extreme distances. So if for any reason he feels an enemy ship or an enemy alien invasion or whatever it could be, he can sense these objects if they are in the water from pretty extreme distances. So he's got kind of like a third sense. He can also manipulate the water into different forms to assist him in his now jelly form with battles and basic transportation. As we can see here, he manipulates water into the form of a body that he can, interact with his fellow superheroes or, battle a villain or whatever, but he can manipulate this obviously to whatever form best fits the scenario that he's in. So that's my day one Inktober, the Jellyman, and thanks for tuning in.